what are we discussing? CBI. Acha, CBI. Communist Party of Israel. Okay. So yes, we have discussed about the idea of calculation of inflation in India. In India, we do calculate inflation either by CPI or else by WPI. CPI means Consumer Price Index and WPI is Wholesale Price Index. Also, we have covered up several other basics with relation to the idea of inflation. So, what is inflation? How many types of inflation are there? What is deflation? What is disinflation? All other associated concepts we have covered in a detail in the last classes. Also, we have covered up the idea of measuring of the inflation, WPI, CPI, and also control of inflation is something which we have covered in the last class. Okay, that is controlling of inflation by taking the use of both fiscal policy and also the monetary policy we would have seen in the last class. Okay, yes, what is fiscal policy? Okay, fiscal policy is developed by central government. ठीक है? All right. Yes, Chapama. What is fiscal policy? ఎవరు చేస్తారు? చెప్పండి. ఫిస్కల్ పాలసీ అంటే పక్కన జ్యోతియా కీర్తి కీర్తి. See, inflationary control is one objective of fiscal policy. Bharatwaj.
So the policy which is made by government, for example, in order to control the black market and ban on exports. Suppose whenever there is huge demand, the government provides subsidies to rationing. Again, reducing the direct taxes.
Okay. What is monetary policy? Yes. Chepan. Parent. Dikshita. Chep Dikshita. Why? Okay, time pass. RBI should do some work, so that is why they are preparing monetary policy. They are taking salaries, RBI governor and others. Bolo, Debasis.
Sir, monetary policy is being formulated by the RBI to have a control on the inflation. Is one object through CRR and SLR, repo rate and reverse repo rate are the various dimensions through which RBI exercises its control over its controls.
Good. So, we have discussed about monetary policy and fiscal policy measures to control inflation. Whole monetary policy is not completed. Monetary policy we have just connected with inflation topic. Fiscal policy we have just connected with inflation topic. Within fiscal policy we'll have budgeting, we'll have taxation, we'll have many other subsidies, other aspects also. Everything we will be discussing very shortly. But see, you might have heard of something called inflation index. Have you ever heard? Inflation index. Okay, if in examination, if you are given this a question like this, sometimes write down the question. Which among the following Which among the following are different inflation indexes used in India? Option A. 1, 2, 3, 4. Option 1, 2, 3, 4. Write down. 1. CPI, Consumer Price Index. Write down the second one. WPI, Wholesale Price Index. Third one, write down. GDP deflator. Fourth one, write down. Inflation index bond. Option A, write down. 1 and 2 only. 1 and 2 only. Option B, 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Option C, 1, 2, 3 only. 1, 2, 3 only. Option D. One minute. It should be. Just one minute, please. One, 2 and 4. Option D, write down. 1, 2 and 4. 1, 2 and 4. Okay? Got the point, everyone? Okay. Okay? Tell me. How many of you with option A? Raise your hands up. A. B. C. And D. Okay. So, inflation index. What do you mean by an index? Index is something which replicate the change. Yes or no? So we calculate food prices. We calculate any other commodity prices. That calculation would be on the basis of what? Last class I said. We will have a year known as base year. Do you remember that? Base year means the year with zero fluctuation or less fluctuations. Okay. So for example, if I say potato, the price of potato is rupees 10 today, I mean in 2022. In 2023, the price have increased to 10.5. Assume. What is the percentage change? What is the inflation rate of potato? 0.5 or 5? 0.5 is the change. But percentage we represent 0.5 is what percentage of 10? How much percentage inflation is there? 5%. Are you getting the point very clear? Yes or no? See, I am very poor in maths. Don't ask me how it came. You just go to your basic mathematics and understand how it came. Okay, because I cannot calculate and show it to you. What is the change, what is the percentage, how I calculate it, what is the formula and others. Okay. Similarly, we take for every other good. Okay. In India, inflation index will be usually calculated in 3 different parameters. 2, you know very very well. One is called CPI and the other is called WPI, Consumer Price Index and Wholesale Price Index. Okay. Along with these 2, we are also having another method currently to calculate inflation. That is something what we call it as GDP deflator. What do we call that? GDP deflator. It is another mechanism of calculation of inflation. Understand very carefully. See, CPI released by which ministry?
Ministry of Labor.
Ministry of Labor, Ministry of Statistics. WPI is released by Ministry of Commerce and Industries. Okay. Similarly, GDP deflator is also released by NSO. NSO is a ministry under? NSO is a department under Ministry same. Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Very good. Just understand one thing very carefully. So, we don't have to enter into these 2 since we are done in the previous classes only. So, one thing which I am very much interested today to speak with you people is about GDP deflator. Okay, see. GDP deflator, again for GDP we will have to go back to the basic concept. Okay. Basic concept what I have said. GDP we will have 2 different types. Okay. Do you remember nominal GDP and real GDP? Clear, we have 2 different things. One is called nominal GDP and the other being real GDP. Okay. So what do you mean by nominal GDP? Nominal GDP, for example, let us assume that in India 10 kg potatoes are produced. Okay, 10 kg potatoes are produced and there is no other production in India. There is no other production possibility in our country. Okay, what I am saying, 10 kg potatoes are being produced and they are sold at rupees 10 per kg. They are sold at rupees 10 per kg. What is the GDP now? Clear? 100 rupees is our GDP size. Why? What I am saying here, I am taking quantity of this suppose 2022 I am saying. Quantity of the current year into price of current year. Okay. So, if I take quantity same remains the same 10 kg of 2022 into price of 2011-12, let us suppose it was 12 rupees. So what will be the GDP? Okay, 10 color. Correct? Yes. Clear? 10 into 12 gives me 100. Small mathematics I know. Okay. So this gives me 120. This is what? Okay. This replicates what? Real GDP. Yes or no? This is what? Real GDP. And this is what we call it as the nominal GDP. This is what we call it as nominal GDP. Okay. See, understand very carefully. Nominal GDP came out to be 10 rupees. Real GDP came out 100 rupees. Real GDP came out to be 120 rupees. Okay. Now we will have to, our idea is to calculate the GDP deflator. Okay. So GDP deflator is something where we derive it by dividing nominal GDP by real GDP. We will be getting what? GDP deflator. Understand another thing very carefully. See, so for example, GDP deflator value comes out to be 10 by 120 means 5, 6. Okay, 5 by 6 in percentage. If you want to show also, you can show that in percentage form as well. Okay, just understand. Can I also write it like real GDP is equal to nominal GDP by GDP deflator? Can I write it in this way as well? Okay, so this is very important as in UPSC. GDP deflator indicates what? Really, GDP deflator indicates what? Inflation only, no? What I am saying, it is one another method of calculating inflation. So GDP deflator, if it comes out to be 5% here, then what happens? 5% will be the inflation. So to calculate the real GDP, I am dividing nominal GDP by inflationary percentage. Clear all of you? Then I will be deriving what? Real GDP as such. Understand this thing very carefully. See, what do you mean by deflator? Forget about GDP. What do you understand by the term called deflator? Deflator is an indication. Deflator means an indicator. It's nothing but an indicator. Okay. So GDP deflator does indicate what? Inflationary figures. So how do we get inflationary figures? Real GDP by, nominal GDP by real GDP. Because nominal GDP, understand very carefully, nominal GDP and real GDP, if you understand, nominal GDP indicates the prices of current year. This indicates the prices of base year. So, if the base year and the current year prices are increasing, suppose, obviously it will increase. In my example, I have taken a different understanding actually. Potato price क्या लिखा है इधर 12 रुपए लिखा है इधर 10 रुपए लिखा है. Okay, so I have taken lesser price, but obviously the price will go high. From 2011 to 2022, is the price remaining the same? Whatever the commodity you look at the market, is the price of the essential goods or any other goods remaining the same? Absolutely not. Okay, so if I take nominal GDP, it will be indicating what? Current year. Real GDP is indicating what? Base year. So if it is nothing but, see, it is nothing but I am just subtracting. I am just subtracting what? The current year price and base year price. That's it, no? What I am taking an example. Quantity remains the same. I am taking an example where quantity is same, but output differs. The reason being current year and base year prices are different. If today, for example, the price of 1 kg potato is 20 and 2022 price is 20 and 2011, let us say, suppose it is price is 10. Take it in this way. Okay. What I am saying, GDP deflator calculation kaisa aayega? Clear? 10 into 20 nominal by 10 into 10. That is what we should do, no? Nominal GDP by real GDP. Nominal GDP means what I am taking? Quantity of current year, price of current year. Okay, current year price I am taking 20. Similarly, quantity of current year into price of base year. Okay, forget this. Now, see, ఎట్లా చేద్దాం 10 ఎట్లా తీసేయచ్చా 10 2. Okay, so GDP deflator comes out to be antena? Anything wrong? Nothing as such. Okay, so the difference, see, understand very carefully again. If it is coming out to be 2, what does it indicate? This 2% is the percentage of GDP deflator. Last class we see consumer price index is one indicator of inflation. See, wholesale price index is one another indicator of inflation. So along with those two, we have the third mechanism to calculate inflation, that is called GDP deflator. Clear everyone? So GDP deflator, we can also replicate nominal GDP by real GDP, or in examination once they have asked in confusion manner, real GDP is equal to nominal GDP by GDP deflator. So everyone marked it wrong. Most of the students I know, they have marked it wrong. Just because there is no such logic. Otherwise, with a simple calculation, they would have interchanged and they would have marked it correct. Okay, so write down. What will be the answer for the question? C. I think all of you have marked C. Acha, none of you. Okay. No problem. You should commit mistake here. Okay, you should make mistakes here so that you repeat the same in your exams. Okay? Right now, GDP deflator. GDP deflator. GDP deflator. It is the measure of. It is the measure of. It is the measure of inflation. Inflation. It is the measure of inflation with the following formula. With the following formula. With the following formula. What is the formula? Write down. Nominal GDP by real GDP. Nominal GDP by real GDP. Nominal GDP by real GDP. Okay, we'll derive nominal GDP means quantity of current year into price of current year. You will kinda malli is equal to petti, keep is equal to again and derive the whole. Niche aise likho na. Nominal GDP definition, quantity of current year into price of current year. Here quantity of current year into price of is like this. Clear everyone? GDP, what we call that? GDP deflator. Okay. Next item, GDP deflator. GDP deflator is also known as price deflator. Price deflator. Price deflator. Price deflator. Clear? That is one another term given for GDP deflator. Also, it is represented. Also, it is represented. Also, it is represented for the calculation of real GDP. Also, it is represented for calculation of real GDP. Also, it is represented for the calculation of real GDP. For the calculation of what? Real GDP. Okay, we can write this. Real GDP is equal to nominal GDP by GDP deflator. Real GDP is equal to nominal GDP by GDP deflator. Clear all of you? Okay. But in your option, there is another term given called inflation index bonds. Okay. Just a minute. What do you understand by inflation index bond? बोलो बिना सुना नहीं, देखा नहीं, ठीक है. हाँ, okay. What do you mean by bond? Bond is nothing but, yes, very good, it is an agreement, it is a guarantee between one party and the another party. You might have heard of, I'll connect you people. See, when we go to share market, we'll discuss in detail about the IIBs also, inflation index bonds also. But for time being, just remember one concept. Okay. Have you people ever heard of sovereign gold bonds? Government introduced sovereign gold bonds, and also gold monetization scheme. They have also introduced a scheme called gold monetization scheme. In the very recent budget, you might have heard about, like the customs duty on gold may go high, and that is the reason right now also gold prices are touching very high in Indian markets. Despite gold prices are increasing, the demand for gold will never go down. Okay, but India is not having any gold reserves. Clear, all of you? So our economically, our gold is being import dependent. We import majorly from South Africa, Johannesburg and other regions. So when we don't have gold, you might have say KGF again. KG इतना सारा gold लेकर के बोल सकते हैं, but economically I'm speaking, okay, not historically. Okay. So when we are import dependent, government have come across with a concept that is called SGB, sovereign gold bonds. Meaning is, you don't have to buy or purchase a physical gold. The government is in an opinion that if somebody is willing to buy gold, it means their intention is the value of the gold will go high. The value of the gold will increase in the future. Clear, all of you? So, government have said we will have to reduce the dependency on foreign countries for the import of gold. In order to reduce that, government have introduced sovereign gold bonds. Okay. Instead of buying a physical gold, the person should go to the bank and buy a sovereign gold bond. Sovereign matlab domestic gold bond. Okay. So what happens? The gold bond will be issued according to the price of current year gold. Okay. Whatever is the price present year, that on that price only will be issuing the gold. And the options would be given like exit option in 3 years, exit option in 5 years, that is the short term exit, medium term exit, and 7 years long term exit. Likewise, they will be also providing you with the exit options as such. Understand? And for example, for 3 years if you are exiting, on the value, for example, you are buying the gold bond of the value 10,000 rupees. Okay, the government will promise a 10% rate of interest, suppose. So at the 3rd year of your exit, you will be given 10,000 rupees plus 3,000 rupees. 10% rate of, ante kada, 10,000 plus 10% of 10,000 means 1,000. 1,000 into 3 gives me 3,000. Okay. If you are exiting at 5th year, 5,000. Exiting at 7th year, 7,000. Okay. Along with this, government have also promised that this is called 10,000 rupees is called what? It is called the face value of the bond. Okay. If at all, after 7th year, the price of the gold increased per gram or per whatever we calculate. If the price of the gold increases to rupees 12,000, suppose after 7th year, we will be also providing you with the increased value. Are you getting the point? You will be getting interest also. Along with interest, if after 7 years the gold rate is increased, you will be given the same gold rate only, according to what you buy a physical gold. If you buy a physical gold today, after 5 years if the value exceeds, so you will be very happy. Though certain making charges and others will be deducted, but otherwise you will be happy. Similar happiness will be given in the gold bonds also, which are again safe. They are being kept with the banks itself. Clear, everyone? So just understand this point very carefully. This has not become very popular in India. Clear? Because nobody trusts their husbands if they gift a gold bond. On Valentine's Day, which is on January, April? Very good, very good. Okay. So, if a husband gives to the wife any gold bond as a gift, she will never accept that. Okay? Because she cannot wear a bond and go to a party. Yes or no? So that is the reason it did not become so popular in our country as such. But otherwise, it is a very good initiative because we will have to reduce the dependency on physical gold altogether. Is this point coming very clear to everyone? Done. One other point, just understand now. See, whenever we come up with, we are discussing about inflation index bonds. Okay. This is a guarantee, again, similar guarantee given by the government. Okay. What kind of a guarantee? For example, if an investor comes and he buys a share also, or he invests in a company also, clear. For example, he is investing on any company worth rupees 100, suppose. 100 rupees share is buying, suppose. And he is being promised at 10% rate of interest, so he is very happy. Okay. But if because of inflation, the prices of that particular company, or the value of that particular company is being increased to rupees 200, then if you buy this bond, this 200 rupees will be guaranteed. Are you getting the point very clear? That 200 rupees will be ensured. Like gold bond only, whatever the increased value will be there, that will be assured under inflation index bonds. Is this clear to everyone? So this is not at all a concept today. But when we go to Sensex, when we go to stock markets, again we will be coming up with that particular understanding. Is this clear to everyone? Okay. So let us start a fresh topic today. Okay, this was a continuation actually to our previous lecture. Okay. What will start today? Keep the heading money and banking. Okay, very important for UPSC. Money and banking. Money and banking. So several ideas of monetary policy we have discussed in the last class only. Okay, so today we shall be discussing more about the idea of banking assets. What is a bank?
Bank is a financial institution.
What is a bank?
Is a financial institution.
Bank is a financial institution which does accept deposit and which will give away the loans. Okay. So, for example, what's your name? Kirti. Pakana? Shanti. Sushma. Usha. All are friends? Not friends? Okay. So, let us suppose that there are 4 friends. Okay. Shanti and gang. Okay, or Usha and gang. Okay. So, suppose 4 of them wanted to have a chocolate. Okay. Each chocolate carries 10 rupees. All of them carries 10 rupees, 10 rupees, 10 rupees and 10 rupees. Everyone are having 10 rupees. Suppose there is a shop. in which there is only one chocolate available. Okay. Who will get the chocolate? Who will be receiving the chocolate? No, you will not fight. Your friends. Just now you said your friends. Listen. If there is only one chocolate, the money available with these 4 people are 10. We cannot do any auction also. Yes, sir. Once upon a time we used to do auction. Whoever have the more money to this chocolate, they will be given the chocolate. लेकिन auction possible नहीं. मैंने condition बता दिया कि each and every person is carrying 10 rupees only. Okay, with that. Suppose this shop is a shop of Cadbury. Let's suppose. Okay. This shop is not having enough money to produce chocolates. Okay. Then these 4 people, whatever the money they are having, their intention is to buy a chocolate. But this money is unable to fulfill their demand of buying a chocolate. So this money will become a idle money. Yes or no? This money will become a idle money, meaning it is not either buying a commodity nor creating any asset as such. Okay. So there is one person sitting in between who says, your money is a idle money. Why don't you give this money to me so that I will return you back with some additional money? So all the 4 friends felt very happy and joy because they have been given a good offer. Okay, so all of them to this person have given their having whatever they have, that is 10 rupees each. So they have given 40 rupees. Clear? He said, I will be returning you back with 10% additional money. Clear offer? Then this Cadbury person is there, who is willing to manufacture or make a chocolate, but is not having money. Then this person says, go to Cadbury and say, if you want to bake a chocolate but you are not having enough money, I'll do one thing, I'll give you 40 rupees, you return me back with a 20% additional money. Clear all of you? So, he made the chocolates, he took 40 rupees, made 40 chocolates, and he's gaining more and more businesses. Okay, and this Cadbury person, as promised, have written this person 40 rupees plus 20% each a day, 12 into 4. He have written 48 rupees. Okay, this 48 rupees is given to whom? The mediator. Okay, this mediator has promised, I have given 11, 11, 11, 11. All the 4 friends. Shanti, Kirti, Sushma, Usha, everyone. I felt very happy. I've got 11, 11, 11, 11. Okay. This person is also very happy. I have made 40 chocolates by taking the investment of 40. I can sell each chocolate at 10 rupees. So my profits would be around 40, 10 and 400 rupees. Clear all of you? So he is also happy. These 4 friends are also happy. And this person who is in between, he is also happy. Clear? The money does not belong to this person. The business does not belong to this person. He is just acting as a mediator or a facilitator of funds to the company and facilitator to storage of the funds to these 4 friends. And this middle person is nothing but bank. Clear all of you? That mediator, whoever is acting here, is a bank. So what is bank doing? Bank is accepting deposit. Bank is giving loans. Okay, listen very carefully. Bank is accepting the deposit. Bank is also giving away the loans concept. Okay, so on the loans, the bank will receive an interest. Yes or no? Bank will receive an interest on the loans that they have issued. Okay, so the loans they may issue in the form of a house loan, they may issue in mortgage loan, they may issue in the form of a vehicle loan, they may issue education loan, they may issue any other loan also, personal loan and others. Okay, so whatever the interest that they receive on the loans that they have issued, that interest received will be called what? Yield or income. What do we call that? Yield or income. And deposits accepted by the bank may be of two types. Clear? The deposits will be of two types. One is the demand deposit and the other is called time deposit. Demand deposit is something you deposit and take at any time you wish. Time deposit you will deposit and take only at that time which is being mentioned on the deposit. This is clear to all of you? Like you might have heard of savings account. That is a demand deposit. All the savings account storages will be of demand deposit. Time deposit like FD, fixed deposit, like RD, recurring deposit. All those will be a part of what? They will be a part of time deposit. For the deposits, the bank should pay the rate of interest. Yes or no? Whatever the interest that is being paid by the bank on different types of deposits, that particular rate of interest will be known as cost of fund. Cost of fund is the revenue or the interest paid by the bank. Yield or income is the interest that is collected by the bank. According to the Reserve Bank of India, the difference between cost of fund and yield or income, the difference between these two is called the net profit of the bank. What is it called? Net profit of the bank. And also remember, according to the RBI guidelines, the difference between cost of fund and yield or income should not be less than 3%. Meaning it should be beyond 3% only. It should not be less than 3%. That is what you usually witness in the bank. Usually the cost of fund and yield or normally you go to any bank and say, I am going to do the fixed deposit. How much interest you will pay? No bank currently say you more than 6%. Clear? And you also go to another counter and ask, I want to take a house loan or any other loan, personal loan. What is the interest you charge? No bank will say you less than 12%. So they are maintaining more than the RBI guideline. 6% is what they pay, 12% is what they receive. The difference between these two is called net profit of the bank. So the net profit of the bank should not be below 3% as said by RBI. Okay. So banking as an industry was started way back. In fact, during the British era also. Clear? If you go to the historical perspective as well, we have a loaning system like Ranaleka, Ranapatra, and all those are the loaning systems which we have seen during the ancient history, but that is not very important to us. And also remember, during the ancient period, the rate of interest was decided according to Varna. Clear? For Brahmins, the rate of interest was very less. For Kshatriyas, slightly high. For Vaishyas, slightly high. For Shudras, very high. So today we call Shudras as the untouchables. Clear? In the society. But otherwise, Shudras were once the elite classes in the society. They used to pay very high rate of interest. Ranapatra, Ranaleka and other evidences we have found. And British came to India and banking came to India almost simultaneously. Here banking as an industry was started with a bank called Bank of Hindustan, which is contemporarily regarded as the first bank of India. What is a bank? Bank of Hindustan, started by British. Clear all of you? Or else we can also call it as Hindustan Bank or Bank of Hindustan. Later on came many other banks like Punjab National Bank, clear, presidency banks, which we are very, very important, we'll discuss very shortly. So, the first bank which we have got evidences in India is called Bank of Hindustan, started by British, but there is no Hindu in that, clear? So, that is also one another evidence as such. As a measure to develop the banking industry in our country, presidency bank system were started. Clear? The presidency banks were established in 1804 at Bengal, 1806 at Bombay, 1842 at Madras. Clear? 3 presidency banks were established in India. All the 3 presidency banks were merged together into a new bank called Imperial Bank of India. Clear all of you? All the 3 presidency banks are merged into what? Imperial Bank of India. The same Imperial Bank of India in 1955 became State Bank of India. Clear all of you? So that is the historical evidences of existing bank in India. Okay. During that time only, we were in need of a central bank, okay, who monitor Imperial Bank, though it is monitoring, but apart from Imperial Bank, we also need another central bank to monitor the whole of Indian expenses also, Indian currency circulation also. Everything has to be managed. In order to do that, so in the year 1926, we have appointed a committee known as Hilton Young Commission. The same Hilton Young Commission in 1926 have recommended for the setup of Reserve Bank of India, for which the British Parliament have enacted an act in the year 1934, and RBI came into force in the year 1935, with its first governor being Sir Osborne Smith, and the first Indian governor of RBI is C.D. Deshmukh. Is this clear to everyone? So RBI got nationalized, meaning RBI became a complete government bank in the year 1948. Clear? So these kind of factuals may not be directly important for your examination, but looking at the trend of UPSC, they are very much interested in both static and dynamic knowledge from you. Okay, now alone static information will not give you a selection. Alone dynamic information is also will not be giving you any good result. So we will have to adopt both the policies. Clear? That is the factual information also, at the same time the current information also. Okay, so nobody will be asking you who is the governor of RBI. Did any time UPSC asked? Never in the past 25 years. UPSC will never ask you who is the President of India. Clear everyone? Who is the President of India? No president.
No, I just know the first name.
You call her by nickname. Evaru? Who is the vice president? Hello. Ostuna. Meer kuda ostuna. Peru peru? Nee peru adugutunna. Sindhu. Chep Sindhu. Who is the vice president of India?
I told the president name as Draupadi.
Yeah, that was fine. That's why I didn't say anything. Chepamma. Peru? Divya. Who is the vice president of India, Divya? P.V. Narasimha Rao. What's the name? Devika. Chep Devika. భారతదేశ ఉపరాష్ట్రపతి పదవి ప్రస్తుతం ఖాళీగా ఉంది. I think, because looking at all your responses, specs, what's your name? Uday. Chep Uday. Who is the vice president of India? పక్కన. ఓ మై గాడ్, తెలుసా? చెప్పు. జగదీప్ Dhankar. Very good. So I think this recording should be deleted. Because otherwise some people will doubt me. Okay, right. Em cheptuna? Money and banking. Okay. Right. Bank is a financial institution. Bank is a financial institution Bank is a financial institution which accept the deposit, which accept the deposits and give away the loans, which accept the deposits and give away the loans, which accept the deposits and give away the loans. Write down. Bank will issue different types of loans, and charge a rate of interest, and charge a rate of interest which together called is called yield or income, which together is called yield, YIELD, yield or income. Have you got the point? Which together is called yield or income. Right on the next point. Bank will issue several deposits. Bank will issue several deposits and the rate of interest they collect, is called cost of funds. Write down. The difference between yield or income and cost of funds. Is called net profit of the bank. Net profit of the bank. Clear all of you? Right on. During the British era, that is in 1770, Bank of Hindustan was established. Which is the first bank in Indian history. First bank in Indian history. Write down. For three major presidencies, presidency banks were established. Presidency banks were established. That is Presidency Bank of Bengal 1804. Just a minute. Note down this. Presidency Bank of Bengal 1804. It is 1840 actually. Clear? Presidency Bank of Bengal 1804, Bombay 1840, Madras 1842. Clear all of you? presidency banks were established at Bengal, Bombay, and also Madras. Clear all of you? Then write down. All the three presidency banks were merged into Imperial Bank of India. Which facilitated as central bank అంటే ఇదే సెంట్రల్ బ్యాంక్ లా పనిచేసింది ఎప్పటిదాకా 1948 RBI got nationalized in 1948. Okay, which facilitated or which worked as the central bank till 1948, 1949 itla రాయొచ్చు. 48 చిన్న డాష్ పెట్టి 49, right? Like this also you can write. Okay, because it is a time period where RBI got nationalized. Okay, you also remember the same IBI became SBI. Okay, so SBI is having a very good past, more than RBI in fact. Okay, right on. Simultaneously, several other banks were established. Imperial Bank of India year 9 लिखा ना हमने.
1918.
All the three presidency banks are merged and created what? Imperial Bank of India. Which year? 1921. Akkada. I think we haven't mentioned that. Okay? Right on. Simultaneously, several other banks were established in India. Right on. Allahabad Bank, 1865. Punjab National Bank, PNB, Punjab, they are all present today also. Punjab National Bank, 1894. Bank of India, 1906. Canara Bank, you might have heard, no? Canara Bank, 1906. Bank of Baroda, this also you might have heard. Bank of Baroda, 1906. Clear all of you? Then I do. After the Hilton-Young Commission recommendation, after the Hilton-Young Commission recommendation, after the Hilton-Young Commission's recommendation, RBI was established. By enacting an act in 1934, which came into force in 1935. Enacting an act in 1934 which came into force in 1935. So you know this very well. RBI came into force in which year? 1935. Who is the first governor? Sir Osborne Smith. Who is the first Indian governor? C.D. Deshmukh. Who is the present governor? Shaktikant Das is the current governor of RBI. Okay. What will RBI do? Functions of RBI? Regulate the money. Okay.
Controlling.
First of all, RBI will be giving the permission to set up a new bank. Okay. Set up a new branch. Merge a branch. Remove a bank. Remove a branch. Any objective should undergo with the prior consent of RBI only. This is clear to everyone? So RBI will be giving a permission to create a new bank, to create a new branch, merge a bank or remove a bank also. Everything will be done by RBI with that. Another important point that has to be noted very carefully here is, just understand, RBI will also be giving the permission, see, as two different types of banks. What is one is called scheduled bank and the other is called non-scheduled bank. Scheduled bank means the banks which are registered under section 2 of RBI Act 1934. Okay, so non-scheduled means non-registered. Okay, so you know this very well. Scheduled commercial, scheduled cooperative. Cooperative will be again of district cooperative, state cooperative. Likewise, we'll be having different cooperative banks. Cooperative मतलब क्या है? No profit, no loss. What is the motive of cooperative? No profit, no loss. Commercial means what? Profit motive. Profit is the main intention of commercial banks. Okay. Within commercial banks, we have public bank, we have private bank, we have foreign bank, we also have regional rural banks. RRBs we call. Clear all of you? What is an RRB? RRB is a bank which is having a stake of, there are three partners in RRBs. Clear? RRB, not RBI. RBI is owned by government only, but RRB there are three partners. Who are the three partners? Central government, very good. State government, very good. Sponsored bank, very good. Clear? There are three partners in RRB. One is called central government, other is state government, and the other is called sponsored bank. Meaning, if RRB, if you see the debit card of RRB, here it will be written like HDFC. Clear? Though it is called RRB, but ऊपर लिखा होगा HDFC. Meaning HDFC is what? Sponsored bank. Clear everyone? So public bank meaning something which is owned by the government. Private, you understand. Foreign banks, foreigners establishing their bank in India. First item came into force. నాబార్డ్ అగ్రికల్చర్లో మాట్లాడదాం. 1982 శివరామకృష్ణన్ కమిటీ తర్వాత మాట్లాడదాం. ఓకే, ఎస్. ఎందుకనంటే టిల్ 1935లో వచ్చింది, కానీ 1948లో నేషనలైజ్ అయింది. అంటే ఇప్పుడు మనం రాయబోయేటటువంటి ఫంక్షన్స్ అన్నీ కూడా 1948 నుండి స్టార్ట్ చేసింది. ఓకే, హిల్టన్ నేను చెప్పింది కదా సపరేట్ చెప్పండి, ఇంకొక సపరేట్ సెంట్రల్ బ్యాంక్ కావాలి. ఇదేంది ఇంపీరియల్ బ్యాంక్ ఏంది? ఇట్ ఈస్ నథింగ్ బట్ ప్రెసిడెన్సీ బ్యాంక్స్. రీజనల్ ఏరియాస్లో ఒక్కొక్క బ్యాంక్ని ఎస్టాబ్లిష్ చేసింది. ఓకే, NABARD will discuss very detailedly when we go to agriculture sector. It's not a topic right now. 1982 Paul, we are in 1940s only. Okay, in April
Came into force 1940.
And got nationalized in 1948-49. In 1948-49 full fledged 49 లో అయిపోయింది. క్లియర్ ఆల్ ఆఫ్ యూ? రైట్ డౌన్. ఫంక్షన్స్ ఆఫ్ RBI. functions of RBI. Functions of RBI. Clear all of? Right on. There are different functions performed. Different functions. All every objective will write. Okay. There are different functions performed by RBI. By RBI, such as marriage functions, birthday function. Right on, first function. Right on. RBI give permission, not birthdays and functions. Okay. RBI gives permission to set up a new bank. New branch. And the existing bank is inko branch. Okay, that can also be given permission by RBI only. Okay, if SBI want to create a branch in SR Nagar, then also RBI permission is mandatory. Remove a branch from SR Nagar, RBI permission is compulsory. Okay. In it, na? New branch. Remove a bank or a branch. Remove a bank or a branch. Merger of a bank or a branch. ATM is the authority given to the banks itself. The cards, the cards which we are going to speak also, Visa, Master and other cards, that are given to an external agency. That is why we have come up with RuPay card. RuPay is Indian denominated card. Okay, so you might have heard like plastic money. What we are speaking about is plastic money. All the cards are plastic money only. The bank is of India. For example, if there is a bank, suppose bank called SBI. Okay, the customers in SBI are Indians. Okay, it is the Indian money stored in State Bank of India. Okay, now. So, money is Indian money, customer is Indian customer, the bank is Indian bank, but for the facilitator to the bank, we call it as ATM card. Okay, this is being done by Master and Visa. These two are the firms belonging to USA. They are not Indian companies. Master and Visa are the American companies. So that is where the issue have arisen. We are the customers, we are the bank, the money is ours, but to facilitate the services, USA is intervened and they print the cards like Master and Visa and they issue it to Indians. And per transaction charges they will charge. It will not go to SBI but it will go to Master and Visa. Because India have got a huge customer base. That is the reason USA has intervened into this process. Because any country, if they wanted to start a business, better than India, there is no other country. Okay, we are a developing nation. We are a chunk of 130 crore population. So anyone who does want to invest, then India will be the best destination altogether. Yes or no? So the best destination is something which for investment, where we have human resources, where we have natural resources also, where we have logistic support also. That's the reason G20 summit will be hosted in India this year. For the very first time, India will be hosting the G20 summit as such. As a part of G20, the Entrepreneur Summit will be conducted at Visakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh. Okay, G20's Entrepreneurial Summit will be held at Visakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh. Very recently, Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Jagan Mohan Reddy have been to New Delhi for the preparedness meeting. Sannahaka Samavesham. Preparedness meeting of G20 Entrepreneurial Summit, where Visakhapatnam is going to host, where he have called all the entrepreneurs to come and invest in Visakhapatnam, which is going to be the future capital of Andhra Pradesh. He firmly insisted that all the companies are shifting to Vizag. I myself is going to shift to Vizag. Jagan kuda Vizag వెళ్ళిపోతారని చెప్పి చెప్పడం జరిగింది. దో చంద్రబాబు నాయుడు లేటర్ సెడ్ నిన్ను వైజాగ్ కాదు నేను కడప పంపిస్తామని చెప్పి. దట్ ఈస్ a different thing altogether. Okay. So, he said, Andhra Pradesh is such a state which provides for all the investors all the forms of transportation mechanism. Andhra Pradesh have got 6 airports. Andhra Pradesh have got 4 functioning seaports also. They have got Machilipatnam, they have got Visakhapatnam, they have got Kakinada and others also. Andhra Pradesh have got a very big railway network where Visakhapatnam is going to be a railway zone very soon. Andhra Pradesh have got a wide road network. Clear? All the roads are connected to national highways, so that is one another advantage. So he has been portraying that Andhra Pradesh is the best destination, because this kind of a chance never any other state will get. Are you understanding the point very clear? So he is trying to boost investments in Andhra Pradesh. He is calling investors to come, and what he will be providing? He will be providing electricity, he will be providing roads, he will be providing all other necessary facilities for a company to invest. We are inviting them, be it from America, be it from Canada, be it from Australia, any other country. So what we should understand in the present times is, can the state government firmly go for an exchange with the other countries? My question, I repeat, see. Can state government go for any monetary transaction with a foreign country? No. There should be a guarantor, always the guarantor should be central government. Without the prior approval or the prior recommendation of the central government, there cannot be any form of agreement between the foreign country and the state government of India. Is this clear to everyone? Yes or no? Okay, so coming to this point, master and visa, when we speak about USA, we have reduced the dependency on USA, and we have created our own, our indigenous system, that is in the form of RuPay. We will discuss about Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. Clear? Jan Dhan accounts. Clear? All the Jan Dhan accounts are called no-frill accounts. No-frill accounts are nothing but zero balance accounts. Yes or no? No-frill account means what? Zero balance. You don't have to have any opening balance to open a bank account. All the benefits will be credited directly to the bank account. That is what we call it as DBT. Direct Benefit Transfer. There is no scope of any corruption if everyone are having a bank account. Clear? What is the motive here? If everyone is having a bank account, if central government wanted to give 1,000 rupees, the whole 1,000 rupees will be credited to the bank account. There is no mediator, there is no middleman, there is no scope of corruption also. Clear all of you? So eliminating the scope of corruption, we have come up with DBT program. What do we call that? DBT, Direct Benefit Transfer. Meaning the idea of direct benefit transfer and opening a no-frill account was called some program called Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, and that is the reason all the no-frill accounts in India are called Jan Dhan accounts. What do we call them? Jan Dhan accounts. And the idea of Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana is to bring financial inclusion in India. What is the motive of Jan Dhan Yojana? To bring financial inclusion. All the sections in the society should be included financially. Should be included financially in the eyes of the government. In the eyes of the government. Like Narendra Modi says, no? मैं दिल्ली में बैठ के आपका बस नाम डालूंगा तो आपके अकाउंट में कितना पैसा है मुझे पूरा आ जाए. He will be saying, no, if I sit in Delhi and open your name with a PAN card, I will be receiving all the details of what the government have assisted you. Clear of you? Jagannath Reddy also says, clear, oka button nokkute, he will be usually calling this button nokkina డబ్బులన్నీ మీ ఖాతాలోకి అని చెప్పి he will be saying in the public. That is called direct benefit transfer, DBTs. Clear all of you? What do we call that? Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. Also the accounts are called Jan Dhan accounts. Is this clear to everyone? So what we are trying to do here, eliminate the middleman. And here under Jan Dhan Yojana, it is not affordable to India or Indians to go for master and visa card. Yes or no? Here we are speaking about these accounts in context of beneficiaries, in context of poverty. పేదవాళ్ళ కోసం మనం చేసినటువంటి తెలిసినటువంటి ఖాతాలు ఇవన్నీ. All these accounts are being opened for eliminating poverty, for fulfilling the demands, necessities and benefits of the poverty. And that is the reason Prime Minister Modi have come up with eliminating the dependency on USA and creating an Indian denominated and Indian operated card that is called RuPay cards. All the Jan Dhan account holders will be given a RuPay card, not a master or a visa card. And if you have a Jan Dhan account, a free life cover will be given of up to rupees 2 lakhs. If you are enrolled under Jan Dhan Yojana, automatically you will be enrolled under Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana. Clear? From your account, automatic deduction will happen of rupees 330. How much amount will be deducted? 330 rupees will be deducted, and you will be given a life cover of rupees 2 lakh. Clear? How much life cover is being given? 2 lakh rupees life cover is given for every person between 18 to 50 years. Clear of you? Between 18 to 50 years, whatever the risk will be occurring, on the basis of that risk, the government will pay risk allowance of rupees 2 lakh to the nominee. Is this clear to everyone? Yes or no? Jan Dhan account will be having a free Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana life cover policy also. Clear? Yes. To attain the life cover, a person should die before 50. If he die after 50, 2 lakh rupee will not be given. Okay, make sure of that also. In Japana? Functions of RBI, Reserve Bank of India. Okay, so first function we have written now. RBI will create a bank, RBI will create a branch, and all those options we have written carefully. Next item. RBI will act as a mediator between central government and SCBs. SCB, you remember that? Scheduled Commercial Banks. Just draw the chart, everyone. If central government wanted to give any recapitalization to the SCB, through RBI it will go. This chart, RBI, how the banks are seen visible. If you remember, that's okay. Otherwise, you just draw. This one, schedule, non-schedule. Schedule అంటే ఏంది? దాంట్లో we have two things, commercial and cooperative. Scheduled banks are those which are registered with RBI under Section 2 of RBI Act of 1934. Clear? Okay, so just draw that and take a 5-minute break. Okay, we'll come back soon. Now, functions of RBI. Okay, right. An RBI is the RBI means Reserve Bank of Iraq. RBI is the issuer of RBI is the issuer of the currency. RBI is the issuer of currency. RBI is the issuer of currency. Okay. So whatever the currency is seen in circulation in our country, that will be issued by RBI. Okay. What do you mean by currency? Currency means what is coin? What is note? What is currency? Note is paper. Coin is metal. Currency in rupees. Wow. ఏంటండి? Yes. After this class, we'll go to a tea stall and ask him or her what is the difference between note and a coin. They say the same way like you. Note is a paper, coin is a letter. Being a UPSC aspirant and particularly my student. Again, you'll go to the same tea stall and say, who taught you economy? You'll say my name only. That's right. So I'll be very careful with you. So currency, yes, it is something which is printed. Coin is something which is minted. Note is something which is printed. Okay. Yes, the coin is seen minted by central government. Remember. While the note is seen printed by Reserve Bank of India. Okay. A coin will be minted by central government through its agency called SMCI. What is the name of the agency? SMCI, Security and Minting Corporation of India. What is this? Security and Minting Corporation of India Limited. SMCI. Okay. RBI will be printing a note through RBI Note Mudran Agency. What do we call? RBI Note Mudran Agency is the agency involved in printing of the note. The coins are minted by SMCI in India at 4 different locations. Clear? The coins are minted at Kolkata, Noida, Mumbai, Hyderabad. At 4 places, the coins are minted. At 4 different locations, the notes are also printed. Clear? That is Nasik. Very good. Devas. Very good. Mysore. Salboni. Clear? At 4 places the notes are printed, at 4 places the coins are minted. Salboni, West Bengal, Mysore, Karnataka, Devas, Madhya Pradesh, Nasik, Maharashtra, Hyderabad, Telangana, Mumbai, Maharashtra, Noida, UP, Kolkata, West Bengal. Clear? So the coin is minted, the note is printed. Okay. The central government will be having the power to issue a coin up to the maximum denomination. the power available with central government to mint a coin up to which larger denomination, if somebody asks you, the maximum denomination is rupees 1000. Clear? But currently it is minting a coin maximum of rupees 10. The power is available at 1000 rupees maximum, but the current printing facility is there for 10 rupees only. While the RBI will be having the highest power to print a note up to the maximum denomination of rupees 10,000, but currently it is printing a note up to the denomination of 2000. Clear everyone? So remember, currency means note plus coin. What do you mean by currency? Note plus coin together will replicate or indicate the idea of currency. Okay. So the coins are minted by central government. The note is printed by RBI. Okay. But both of them together is called what? Currency. Currency is published by whom? RBI. Though RBI does not involve into the minting of the coin, but it is involved in distribution of the coins. Are you getting the point very clear? One more thing. RBI will print every note in India except the note of rupees 5 and rupees 1, though they are not visible in our country currently, but otherwise also these two currency notes are also printed by a central government, that is SMCI. Okay, so there will be a finance secretary signature on these notes. Okay, finance secretary comes in top 3 IAS officers in India. Clear all of you? After cabinet secretary, PMO secretary and finance secretary. They are the most powerful IAS officers in our country. So finance secretary signature will be there in the rupee 1 and rupee 5 notes. Okay. Particularly rupee 1 we can say directly, we can see the finance secretary notes. Some rupees 5 currency notes are also printed by RBI. That's the reason we are slightly confusion with 5, but 1 rupee it is definitely printed by central government only. Few are printed by with the signature of the RBI governor, few are printed with the signature of the finance secretary. Anyways, now RBI have also printed. Right now they are printing a note of rupees 2000 being the highest. But once they had printed also the note of rupees 10,000 as such. Clear all of you? So, in the year 1946, clear? In the year 1939, in fact, to be more specific, but 1954 will take. Because 1939-46 RBI was not into pure functionality. Okay, 1954, we have in India launched few bigger currency notes like rupees 10,000 and rupees 5,000 notes were introduced in India at in the year 1954. And these two big notes were banned in our country in the year 1978. They were banned in which year? 1978. Okay. This is what we call it as a demonetization number 1 in the history of our country. I mean, after independence, for the first time, banning of currency is nothing but what? Demonetization. Yes or no? Have you people ever heard of the term demonetization?
Yes.
What do you mean by demonetization? Very good. Cancelling or stripping away the legal tender or the legal value of the currency in circulation. Clear all of you? That is what we call it as demonetization. For the first time it was done in which year? 1970. That is what I am speaking about after independence. Okay, now. Again. In 1987 we have introduced a note called rupees 500 note. In the year 2000 we have introduced a note called rupees 1000 note. Okay. So these two currency notes were banned on November 8, 2016. Okay. These two currency notes in circulation were banned when? On November 8, 2016. And this is what we call it as the demonetization number 2 after India's independence. Why I am stressing after independence is because in 1946 once we have done, but that is pre-independence of India. You are aware of this, no? 1946 we did not gain independence. But post-independence, this is the first time demonetization was done. This is the second time demonetization was done. This period you remember everyone. Okay, 2016 on November 8th. What are the reasons cited? To bring back black money, to stop fake money, to stop terror funding. Okay, there are the three reasons cited or said by the Honorable Prime Minister to bring the concept of demonetization. Clear all of you? Now we will have to take up. Okay, so RBI is having this second function called RBI is regarded or considered to be the issuer of currency in India. That is well and good. But we have also understood what is currency, what is note, what is a coin. Okay. How do we denote the total currency in India? You might be hearing this point also. Almost around we have got 196 lakh crore of currency in our country. Clear, highest denomination of the notes in India is rupees 2000 notes. All those aspects you might have been coming associated again and again. But to be more precise with you people, we will have to take you to one basic concept called M0, M1, M2 and M3. Clear all of you? Money in circulation. So that point we will be understanding first. But before we discuss that, what is a money?
Medium of exchange.
Money is a payment of action. Okay, huh. Medium of exchange. Okay. Okay. Let us consider the following statement.
Medium of exchange which is valid accepted by both debtor.
Good. Let us consider the following statements. Consider the following statement. Write down the first statement. First statement, write down. First statement, write down. Gold coins in India. Gold coins in India. Gold coins in India is a form of token money. Is a form of token money. Is a form of token money. Right in the second statement. Currency notes in India. Currency notes in India. Currency notes in India. Currency notes in India is a form of. Currency notes in India is a form of full-bodied money. Full-bodied money. Full-bodied money. Body, B-O-D-I-E-D, bodied, full-bodied money. Okay. Options you know. A only one, B only two, C both one and two, D none of the above. Question is clear? How many of you with option A? Raise your hands up. A. Okay. B. Right. C. And D. Okay. Tell me, Manasa. Why D? Gold in India is a form of token money. Okay, that is wrong. Second is
Currency note in India is a form of full body.
currency in India is a form of full-bodied money. That is also wrong. That is why D. I am asking you the logic.
Token money is not gold coin money.
Achha. Yes, come back to our discussion. What is money? Money is, like you people have said, it is a medium of exchange to buy a commodity. But also you people know very well that money is not a final consumption. Okay. Money can be in any form, paper form, non-paper form also, coin form also, gold form also, silver form also. During the ancient times, you might have heard like ancient medieval times, the currency was issued in the form of gold. Clear? So, just understand. Once upon a time, before the concept of money arrived in the world, we used to have barter system. Barter system is exchange of good for good. Clear all of you? But the problem arised here is double coincidence of want. What is the problem arised here? Double coincidence of wants or goods, anything. Meaning, if I want a pen, I have a duster. I should exchange a duster to somebody who is having a pen and take a pen. But that pen person should be in need of duster. What if he is already having abundant amount of dusters? It is of no use. Again, I should find a person who is having a pen and who is in need of a duster. So the double coincidence is not matching. Then money came in between. If you want money, you sell your duster. Take money and buy pen. Again, sell another duster, buy a biscuit. Sell another duster, buy a chocolate. Whatever you wish. So money will be in India eliminating the concept of double coincidence of want or eliminating the barter system in our country. Yes or no? So money have become so popular, not just in India, worldwide also. It have become a legal tender. Yes or no? Because RBI authorizes our currency notes. Nobody, మన దేశంలో కరెన్సీ నోట్లను ధృవీకరించేది ఎవరు అంటే ఏం చెప్తారు? RBI. Clear? RBI will issue the currency. RBI will also act as a guarantor to the currency. Okay, we will have a legal signature of RBI governor on every currency note. Clear? And also we will, if suppose you check a 100 rupee note, it will be written on 100 rupee note. I bear to pay the sum of rupees 100. If you see 10 rupees note, I bear to pay the sum of rupees 10. Have you ever seen?
Yes, sir.
Directly spent. So, I bear to pay. Matlab, who is acting like a legal guarantor here? The RBI itself. Now comes the concept of full-bodied money. For example, let us go some time ago, some time past, maybe during the medieval Indian history, the coinage, the coin currency which was issued by Delhi Sultanates and others. So full-bodied money is face value and intrinsic value should be the same. Okay. If suppose in India RBI is issuing a currency, clear all of you, and a currency in the form of a gold. Okay. So if you exchange gold coin with somebody and get a good, or if you melt that gold coin and make it a fine gold, also the value will be the same. But token money, just understand, a money whose face value and intrinsic value are different. If you go with a 100 rupee note to a shop and he will accept it as a legal tender and he will give you all the goods necessary. Does 100 rupee have both face value and intrinsic value same? No. If you melt it, is there any value of 100? No. If you tear it, it is just a paper. Are you getting the point very clear? So paper value and 100 rupee value are far different. But gold value and gold as a currency value are same. Full-bodied money is where both face value and intrinsic value remain the same. Token money is where face value and intrinsic value are different. Token money in India is an example. In India, not only in India, everywhere for token money, currency notes will be the example. Gold coin or silver coin will be the example of full bodied money. If you exchange also same value. If you melt and buy sell it also same value. Is this point clear to everyone or not? Start it. Make this no. What is the difference between coin, note and currency? Can you write like this only? To remember? You just draw that. అయిపోయిందా రాయండి తొందరగా. హలో చెప్పండి. అవునండి. లేదు ఏం లేదండి. డియాక్టివేట్ అయిపోయింది. రండి ఎస్ఆర్ నగర్ ఆల్మాస్ హోటల్ పక్కన. ఆల్మాస్ పక్కన ఇది ఎన్ఎంఏ ఎక్కడ? అచ్చా, ఆర్బీఐ నోట్ ముద్రణ ఏజెన్సీ. Securities and Minting Corporation of India. Securities and Minting Corporation of India. Done all of you? SMCI will also be printing the government documents. అయిపోయిందా? Switch on the fan. SMCI అంటే Securities and Minting Corporation of India Limited. Okay, their centers is also located in Hyderabad. Hyderabad ఎక్కడ? IMAX theatre చూసారా? Have you ever been to IMAX? IMAX theatre back side you'll have an oval building where all the new coins are minted there. You'll never identify it as a building, a SMCI building, because it looks like a booth bangla. And we have got one another center also in Chellapalli, SMCI, Chellapalli. ఏంటండి? బయట నుంచి అలా చేస్తారు. ఓకే, usually people go there. These commerce students whoever are having a project, they will go visit the center. Absolutely no problem. But industrial visits laga they will take. Okay, SMCI, Security and Minting Corporation of India. Done all of you? Okay. Next write down. Token money is where the value of money is much more higher than where the value of money is much more higher than the value of money is much more higher than the value of commodity. The value of money is much more higher than the value of commodity. The value of money is much more higher than the value of commodity. Is this clear to everyone? Yes or no? The value of money is much more higher than the value of commodity. Example, currency note or paper currency, whatever it is. Okay. Write down full bodied money. It is where the value of money is equal to value of commodity. Arthamainda? Full bodied money. It is where the value of money is equal to the value of commodity. It is where the value of money is equal to the value of commodity. The value of money is equal to the value of commodity. The value of money is equal to the value of commodity. That is called what? Full bodied money. Example, gold. Example, write down gold. Next, write down representative full bodied money. Representative full bodied money. Representative full bodied money. Representative full bodied money. Write down. It is a token money. It is the token money. It is the token money, but issued against the representation of bullion or bullion. Okay, issued against the representation of bullion or bullion. Bullion means gold plus silver. bullion market అని చూస్తూ ఉంటారు కదా. Gold plus silver. Meaning is what? See, once upon a time, right now we are printing money according to the market demand and supply. But once upon a time the money was printed according to the gold reserves we have got. To print $1, we used to calculate like this. To print $1, we should have 0.88 grams of gold. So $1 is equal to say 70 rupees is equal to 0.88 grams of gold. If RBI have this reserve of gold only, this much of money can be printed. But that criteria is now being removed. We are now printing the money according to the market's demand and supply. Is this clear to everyone? Okay, so that is what we call representative full-bodied money. Next item. Next item. Currently in India, currently in India, there is around currently in India, there is around 36 lakh crore 36 lakh crore 36 lakh crore which is in circulation full stop. The currency circulation will be calculated by using the money supply strategy introduced by RBI in 1977. Introduced by RBI in which year? 1977. Introduced by RBI in 1977. See, money circulation we will be calculating as M0, M1, M2, M3 and M4. Clear all of you? So what is this circulation? What is the value of M0, M1, M2, M3? Everything we will understand. Okay, M0 write down. M0, you'll understand, don't worry. M0, M0. Formula write down. Currency, currency in circulation plus bankers deposits with RBI. Currency in circulation plus banker deposits with RBI plus other deposits with RBI. M0 meaning is what? Currency in circulation. So just now I said 36 lakh crore is the currency in circulation plus banker deposits with RBI plus other deposits with RBI. Is this coming very clear to all of you? So last class we have discussed, no? Scheduled commercial bank will deposit some money with RBI. Okay? RBI should also maintain a reserve of around 200 crore, I suppose. Clear? 200 crore rupai lekapothe, if 200 crores is not there with RBI cannot open the bank on that day. So that reserve has to be maintained all the time. Clear all of you? Why the reason is? Bank Diwala. RBI Diwala diste? We cannot say, no, if we go to any normal bank like Axis, HDFC, they may say we don't have money. Can we expect going to RBI and ask money, RBI say we don't have money? Central government will be asking RBI to print money and give us. Clear? RBI will say no, we will not print. Like that, between central government and central bank there will be a conflict. You'll understand section 7 of RBI Act of 1934. Most important conflict. Twin balance sheet problem also, NPA and other discussions are upcoming. Okay. M1 write down. M1. Currency with public. Currency with public plus demand deposits currency with public plus demand deposit, meaning saving account plus current account. Demand deposit, that is the saving account plus current account, plus other deposits with RBI. other deposits with RBI. What I am saying, M1 is nothing but currency with public. Matlab currency in circulation, nothing but same thing, no? Currency in circulation. Plus demand deposit. What is demand deposit, time deposit, do you remember? Demand deposit, anytime it can be withdrawn. It is not stable. But time deposit, it is stable amount with the banking system altogether. Demand deposit in both the accounts, current account also, savings account also. Then I done M2. Right on. M1 plus saving deposits of post office. M2 ante M1 plus saving deposits with post offices. We have post offices saving also in India. We'll understand little later this concept also. Then write down M3. M1 plus time deposits. M1 plus time deposits with the banks. M1 plus time deposits with the banks. Then I run M4. Write down. M3 plus all deposits with post offices. M3 plus all deposits with post offices. M3 plus all deposits with post offices. Now we will derive, just check here. M3 we will write it like M1 plus time deposits with the banks plus all deposits with post offices. Itla nacha? Okay. What is M1 formula? M1 currency with public plus demand deposits plus other deposits plus time deposits plus all deposits with post offices. Don't you think this is where all money in India is available? Total money in India is available with that only, no? If we can't money in the black money. We don't have that concept right now, but later we'll discuss. Okay, in currency with public, M1 and currency with public plus demand deposit plus other deposit plus time deposit plus all deposits with post offices. Okay, derive that formula. First derive what is M3. You can easily write M3 ante endu raskone plus you can write like that. Have you understood this point, everyone? Gaurav. लास्ट वाला नहीं समझे, ध्यान से देखो. हाँ सुनो. मैंने क्या बोला, M4 का फॉर्मूला तक समझ में आ गया? M4 मतलब M3 प्लस ऑल डिपॉजिट विद पोस्ट ऑफिसेस. अभी नीचे कुछ भी नहीं लिखा मैं, मतलब नीचे मैंने क्या किया, M3 को डिराइव किया. M3 ऊपर है ना, वही इधर लिखा. M3 क्या है, M1 प्लस टाइम डिपॉजिट विद द बैंक. ठीक है. फिर नीचे क्या किया, M1 को फिर से एलाबरेट किया. M1 मतलब यहाँ से जो भी है इधर लिख दिया प्लस टाइम डिपॉजिट प्लस ऑल डिपॉजिट्स, बस. हाँ, बोर्ड इज नॉट विजिबल, नो प्रॉब्लम. आपको पीछे है ना फॉर्मूला, आप खुद लिखना. आपको यू शुड राइट एवरीवन. That's it, no? Okay. Is that done, everyone? See here, M0 is called the reserve money. M0 is called what, ma? Reserve money. M1 and M2 is called the narrow money. M1 and M2 is called the narrow money. M3 and M4 is called the broad money. Very good. M3 and M4 is called the broad money. Right on. See, if you see M0, it is called reserved money. M1 and M2, narrow money. M3 and M4, we call it as broad money. Right on. In India, the most commonly used formula for checking the money circulation is M3. Though M4 will give all the information, but M3 is commonly used. Money circulation is M3. Checking the money circulation is called what? M3. M3. Clear, everyone? Then write down. M3 value is around 85 lakh crore. M3 value is around how much? 85 lakh crore. Okay. Then write down. These are all clear, no? What is M0, what is M1, what is M2? I think no need to elaborate that much. Okay. So we are writing about the RBI. Second function we have said, RBI is the issuer of currency. Then write down, RBI act as the banker's bank. RBI act as the banker's bank. RBI act as the banker's bank. Meaning is what? RBI can also lend money to scheduled commercial banks. Right on. It means that RBI can lend money. RBI can lend money to SCBs by taking repo rate. Do you remember that? By taking or by charging repo rate. Then RBI also act as the banker to the central government. RBI also act as the banker to the central government, where it issues loan to the central government loan to the central government either by collateral or no collateral. Collateral is surety. Either by collateral or no collateral. Right. In the recent times, the Central Board of RBI have transferred 1,76,051 crore 1,76,051 crore 1,76,051 ఇట్లే రాస్తామా? Is that correct? How I wrote? 1,76,051 crore additional money, surplus money, additional money to the central government according to ECF economic capital framework. According to ECF, meaning is what? Economic capital framework. Economic capital framework. According to what? ECF, meaning is what? Economic capital framework. Right on. This came after the decision of Bimal Jalan Committee appointed by RBI. This came after the recommendations of which committee? Bimal Jalan Committee appointed by Reserve Bank of India. Appointed by whom? Reserve Bank of India. Right on, next. In the recent times there was a conflict between central government and central bank. Central government and central bank with regard to Section 7 of RBI Act 1934. Section 7 of RBI Act of 1934. Simple. According to Section 7, there is a Central Board of Directors in RBI. Okay. Which will have representatives from central government also, which will have the representation from RBI also. Okay. So this CBD, Central Board of Directors within RBI, have disallowed the transfer of fund. Like recently they have transferred 1,76,051 crore. So likewise central government have demanded certain money from RBI which was denied. Then an action was taken by the central government according to Section 7. Okay. So we'll write the provisions, you'll understand one by one. Okay, right on. According to Section 7, government can give directions to RBI. RBI, you know, it is an autonomous body. It is an independent body. Okay. According to Section 7, RBI can give directions to the government can give direction to RBI in view of public interest. What should be the matter of concern here? Public interest. In view of public interest. in view of public interest. Write down. RBI will recommend certain suggestions. Will recommend certain suggestions as set by central government to the central board of directors whose decision on any matter is regarded final. Whose decision on any matter is regarded to be final. Clear all of you? Right on. RBI Central Board of Directors is appointed by central government which are totally 10. Who are totally 10? Who are totally how many directors? 10 directors. Plus 4 regional directors. 4 regional directors. Plus RBI governor. Plus 4 deputy governors of RBI. See, CBD, the structure will be like this. RBI governor will be there here. There are how many deputy governors in RBI? 4. Deputy governor 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. There will be 10 nominated directors. Okay. They will be from different fields, economy, commerce, science and tech, others. Okay. So 10 nominated directors. There will be 4 regional directors. Like one from Chennai, one from Calcutta, one from Mumbai. Likewise, there will be 4 regional directors. So this complete setup is called CBD. What do we call? Central Board of Directors. Any matter that is being recommended by central government, the approval should be given by whom? Central Board of Directors. Here, these 14 people are the central government people. So those 14 will be definitely accepting what's said by central government. These 4 plus this person, these 5 members are RBI persons. They will not accept what is said by central government. If there's 2 lakh crore, it does not mean RBI should issue 2 lakh crore. So the 4 deputy governors and 1 governor of RBI, there will be a conflict again and again between them. Are you getting the point? So they are central government appointed, they are RBI appointed. So that kind of a conflict is seen visible. Under which section the central government can give direction to the central bank? Section 7. Clear all of you? The directions will be given by the central government in view of public interest. That is very important point to be noted as such. Next item. CBD ఎట్లా కనిపిస్తారు రాసుకొని ఒకసారి. How CBD will be looking, write down that. Nominated directors बस ये अलग है. क्या हुआ ना?
RBI
हाँ आरबीआई गवर्नर होगा, नीचे 4 डिप्टी गवर्नर्स हैं, प्लस 10 नॉमिनेटेड डायरेक्टर्स बाय सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट है, फिर 4 रीजनल डायरेक्टर्स. Done, I guess. Then I done. I done. Apart from this, there is RBI Monetary Policy Committee. You remember this, no? Apart from this, apart from CBD, there is RBI's Monetary Policy Committee, MPC. RBI's Monetary Policy Committee, which was created in 2016. Which is appointed in 2016, which is appointed in the year 2016, where it comprises of totally 6 members. How many members are there in here, MPC? 6 members. Very good. RBI's Monetary Policy Committee. This will be having a total of 6 members. 3 members will be from RBI. 3 members will be from central government. Okay. RBI's Monetary Policy Committee will be headed by RBI Governor. Who will chair the MPC? RBI Governor. Yes. Central government only, but through RBI norms. Okay. In Ipna? 3 will be from central government, 3 will be from RBI. Right on. RBI's MPC will provide, will release, RBI's MPC will release monetary policy report, once in every quarter. Very good. Right on. Once in every quarter. Quarter ante 4 months. 3 months. Once in every quarter. Not that quarter. Okay, once in every quarter. Okay. Then I done. MPC will also provide the inflation targets. Provide the inflation target pegged at 4%. Pegged matlab fixed. Pegged at 4%. Pegged at not that peg again. Okay, pegged at 4%. Plus or minus 2. 2. Last class we said IMF worldwide will recommend. In India, RBI's Monetary Policy Committee will be recommending so. Right on. In the recent times, RBI Innovation Hub, RBI Innovation Hub was established at RBI Innovation Hub was established at question. Write down. Option A, Hyderabad. Option B, Chennai. Option C, Bengaluru or Bangalore. Option D, Kochi. Okay. Tell me, how many of you with option A? Raise your hands up. A. Okay. B. Done. C. Fine. And D. Okay. Yes, the correct answer for the question is yes, Bangalore. Clear all of you? RBI Innovation Hub is established where? It is established in Bangalore. కొత్త ఆలోచనలు, ఇన్నోవేషన్ అంటే న్యూ థాట్స్. ఓకే. హబ్ అంటే ఏరియా, స్టార్ట్అప్ హబ్ అంటాం కదా. మొత్తం గచ్చిబౌలి is a startup hub right now. So new companies will be established like this. Not just currency, they will start up RBI Innovation Hub will look at the central bank functions worldwide and they will bring some innovative thoughts to India. Okay, right, and consider the following statements. Consider the following statements. Right on? Which among the following not consider the following statements. Write them directly. Arrange the following in decreasing order. Arrange the following in decreasing order of liquidity. Arrange the following in decreasing order of liquidity or liquid assets. What are liquid assets? Easily convertible to cash. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 item. 1. Demand deposit with bank. Demand deposit with bank. 2. Time deposit with bank. Time deposit with bank. Third one item. Saving deposit with bank. Fourth one item, currency. Only currency. Option A. 4, 1, 2, 3. Option B. 4, 1, 3, 2. 4, 1, 3, 2. Option C. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. Option D. 4, 4, 2, 4, 2, 1, 3. Is there any such option before? No, right. 4, 2, 1, 3. Yes. You are very much sure cash is, currency is in big form. So first comes currency. But unluckily, all the options have first 4 only. Clear? UPSC how it frames the question. Just check. 4, 1, 3, 2. How many of you say option A, B, C and D? क्या पूछा? Descending order ना?
Yeah, descending. First,
4.
First,
4.
first currency आएगा.
एक सेकंड.
Then
रुको.
ये option में.
B is correct. 4, 1, 3, 2 is correct. Clear everyone? 4, 1, 3, 2 will be the correct answer. Right on. When CRR is increased, one more question. When CRR is increased, it means, your understanding past question is clear, no?
Yes, sir.
How the questions are coming. Okay, this was again recently asked question only. It means option A, RBI will have less money to lend. RBI will have less money to lend. RBI will have less money to lend. Option B, scheduled commercial banks, SCBs will have more money to lend. Option C, SCBs will have less money to lend. Option D, central government will have more money to lend. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Question is easy, I guess.
Yes, sir.
If you understand the CRR concept clearly, then I think it can be answered easily. Okay, tell me how many of you with option A, B, C, D? Kirti. Skip this question. పక్కన రాజేశ్వరి, శాంతి. ఏం పెడదాం? ఆన్సర్ ఏం పెడదాం దానికి? సి. ఉషా. నో ఐడియా. Somebody taught you what is CRR? ఎవరైనా నేర్పించినా లేదా CRR అంటే? I only taught you. Okay, 1.5 years ago we have discussed about CRR.
6.5
When CRR is increased, बोलो भाषित क्या होगा? हाँ, what is CRR? పక్కన చెప్పు. అంటే ఏంది? Very good. See, CRR is a cash reserve ratio which has to be kept in the form of cash only with RBI. ఎవరి దగ్గర పెట్టాలి ఇది? With RBI. Okay. So when it is going out, okay, out of scheduled commercial bank, out of their earning, certain amount is kept with RBI only in the form of cash. Yes or no? So when it is kept aside, దీన్ని మనం పక్కన పెట్టేటప్పుడు what happens? Understand very carefully. Less cash will be available with whom? Scheduled commercial bank. If less cash is there, they will lend less. So which option is suitable for that? Is this clear to everyone? Write down one more question. One another question write down. Which of the all these questions are CSE questions? UPSC CSE previous questions are giving here. Every year, if economic questions are given 10, out of 10, 4 questions will be from money banking only. Okay. So, in it now? Question. Okay, right on. Which among the following are the measures to increase money supply in economy? Money supply in economy. Write down 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? One write down 1. Sale of government securities. Sale of government securities to the public. Sale of government securities to the public. 2 write down. Buying of government securities from public. Buying of government securities from public. Buying of government securities by public. 3 write down. Deposit of currency in commercial banks by public. Deposit of currency in commercial banks by public. 4th one write down. Governments borrowing from the central bank. Governments borrowing from the central bank. Governments borrowing from the central bank. Write down option A. Option A. 1, 2 and 4. 1, 2 and 4. Option B 2, 3 and 4. Option C 2 and 4. Option D 1, 2 and 3. क्या बोल रहा हूं मैं? What I am saying, which is the measure to increase money supply? Okay, money supply को बढ़ाना है, ठीक है? Read the question carefully. Which gives the scope to increase the money supply? Okay, now tell me, how many of you with option A? Done. B, C and D Take some more time, take some more, no problem at all. Okay. Okay now, tell me. Again, how many of you with option A, B, C and D? Okay. So, the motive here is to increase the money supply. Okay now. What are the steps taken to increase money supply? What is the first one? See? Government? No.
Sale of security to public, sir, वो absorb
सुना फर्स्ट वन क्या है पढ़ना
Sale of security to public.
Sale of securities to the public. For example, government issue a share. Let's say, for example, this is a person who is buying a government share. Okay, the share value, let's say rupees 100. Okay, so to buy this share, this person has to pay rupees 100 to the government. Okay, so money with the public is increasing or decreasing? Decreasing. So first option eliminated. Okay, what is the second one?
Buying of government.
If first one is getting eliminated, A got eliminated and D got eliminated.
B and C is remaining.
Yes or no? So if somebody have marked A and D, God will bless you. What is the second one?
Buying of government.
See, reverse operation. From public, the government is buying again. Then government is giving money to the public. So money is increasing here. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So second option is correct. Meaning still B and C are alive. I think.
Yes, sir. 3 options.
B and C are still alive. Okay. Now the deciding factor is third one. Okay, let's check. See.
Deposit of currency in a commercial bank.
Deposit of currency in commercial bank. Understand? We are depositing money in the bank. We are losing money and giving it to the bank. We are depositing matlab we are reducing the money. Yes or no? If we are withdrawing, deposit is different, withdrawing is different. If we deposit, meaning the money available with the public is declining. If we withdraw our FD, if we withdraw our TD, if we withdraw any of our saving deposit, then क्या होता है? Money supply will increase. So the third option is also not very much suitable. Because money is not coming, rather money is going, either in form of deposit or something. Okay. Third is wrong. So the correct answer for the question would be C. 2 and 4 will be the correct response for the question. Are you getting the point very clear? That's why I say economy subject is easy but questions are not. Okay. 20 questions will definitely come in your UPSC CSC. Out of 20, almost 40% will be related to money market, capital market, money and banking and all other aspects. Okay. So be very, very careful with what you solve. Go with the elimination process, only then you will be there in a position to address the question as such. Clear everyone? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So after this we will have to directly enter into the concept of NPS, non-performing asset, which is a very big discussion we are going to do. And along with NPA we will also be going to nationalization of the bank 1969 and 1980 and merger of the banks which are ongoing in the recent times. So all other current issues we'll have to take up with respect to the banking sector. So tomorrow again we'll continue with the same discussion, banking, but mostly we will be having the current oriented banking assets, because our target is preliminary examination first. So in prelims, these kind of topics are very, 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 very important. Is this clear to everyone? Okay. Any questions you have got? क्या बोले? Bad bank कल आएंगे. बैड बैंक, NPA, बैड लोन, सब कुछ कल लेके आएंगे उसको, ठीक है? नहीं, व्हाट? हाँ, yeah, villages also, mandal level also, district level also. No profit, no loss. They will work only on break even. Practically yes. Practically वो ज़्यादा वो interest लेते हैं, but otherwise their motive is no profit, no loss. Okay. Inka. Any other queries you have got? Tell me. No questions? Can I leave? With your permission? Okay. Thank you so much.
Gracias.